Hey guys, welcome back to Electrical Car Repair Live. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. Today will be super helpful video guys to any of you having a Hyundai Santa Fe guys. And if you need to remove or replace oil pump assembly guys, okay, the whole oil pump, stay with us, we will explain guys how to do that. Everything from start to finish. That will involve quite a bit of work guys, okay. But you don't need to remove your engine to do that. We simply have it out due to the fact that we'll be making hundreds of videos that can potentially guys save you thousands of dollars. And having the engine out of the vehicle, we can clearly show you where every detail, bolt, sensor, nut is located, so we can teach you how to fix your car for free guys. So let's go ahead and explain what needs to be done to remove and replace that oil pump assembly now. So this should work on Hyundai Santa Fe generation 2013 all the way to year 2016 guys, with a 2.4 GDI engine. Now let me introduce you to the channel quick. Every single car we get at the garage, we try to make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos. We take them completely apart, we show you how to fix practically anything guys. Why we do all that? Simply because our mission in the shop is to save you as much money as we can. All we need in return, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. This engine, okay, will be completely taken apart. Transmission will show you how to fix almost anything on it. Another thing, if you need to buy any parts or tools guys, okay, check out the link in the description of the video below and you can see where we get all the tools and parts from for a really good price and quick shipping as well. That's where we get all our supplies from. So this right here, okay, this is the engine. And before we start, let me tell you guys, if you have a Hyundai with a 2.4 GDI engine or other cars, check our main channel Auto Repair guys. We have helped more than 110 million people guys. We have information that can save you thousands of dollars. So let's start on it now. So in order to remove guys that oil pump, okay, we need to do quite a bit of disassembly. Stay with us, we'll start on it. We need to first go ahead and remove oil pan, we need to remove valve cover, timing chains, and then we can get to the oil pump. So it is doable, it's not as complicated as it seems, and you will see how long it's gonna take us to do it. So let's go ahead and start on it now. So number one thing, okay, in order to continue guys, we need to drain the engine oil out of the oil pan. So that's the oil drain puck right here, 17mm wrench, okay, and we're just going to get it loose, but that thing is pretty tight as you can see guys. Okay, that's where it's located, so we need to get the big tools in action. Okay, let's just go ahead, pre-loosen that one. It shouldn't be so tight guys, okay. Whoever got it tight, it shouldn't be like that. So if the engine ran guys, it will be hot, so I'll recommend to let it sit, okay, overnight to make sure that it gets cool guys. And we'll let it drain and we'll continue. So now in order to remove the oil pan guys, okay, we need to actually, the AC bracket, one of them attaches to the oil pan, the timing cover right here, so that bracket will need to come out for the two bottom bolts. So we need to go ahead and get the two bolts of the AC on the bottom. We'll try not to remove the compressor, so if you have the engine in the vehicle, you don't have to drain the AC refrigerant, but be careful not to hit a pipe or something to break it, because they're under pressure and they can severely hurt you guys. So we'll go ahead, remove these two bolts now, and we will see, okay, if that will take care of the problem now. Okay, one bolt is almost out, you can see how long it is. Second bolt now. Okay, working on that one. Perfect, it's almost coming out as well. Now, we need to get a 10mm socket guys, okay, and that bracket attaches, or it's a 12. It's a 12 guys, I think. I believe it's a 12mm where the bracket attaches. Okay, so let's see. Now you're going to see, we need to remove those. Those will be extremely tight. Okay, I'll hold the engine while we pre-loosen that one. Let's pre-loosen all of them so we can use the impact. Okay, let's see where another one is here. It's all the way underneath. Okay, let's see if we can use the impact now, okay, to remove that one and see if that bracket will drop. Okay, one bolt is out. Now we're looking for the hole for that. Okay, completely wrong place. Okay, right here. Number 2, 3 and 4 after that. Okay, let's see if that bracket will drop down, but actually it may not, guys. Okay, now we're just thinking about it. Hold on a second, because you have guides here that go in the AC compressor. Let's see if it's only the top or the bottom one. We have those, so we're going to inspect that and let you know, okay, if it's going to come loose or not, because you don't want to damage, okay, your car. So looks like the guides are only on the top of the compressor. Okay, perfect. And that bracket, that whole bracket, okay, came out. That's where the AC compressor attaches. Okay, right here you can see where the bolts are, and that's where all 4 bolts are located. One of them you reach it through this hole. Perfect. Next, the AC compressor will not need to be removed that way. Somebody that worked on that car used a lot of silicone when they installed the oil pan. That oil pan actually has no gasket, guys, I believe. I think it's only silicone. I'll recommend the gray one. It's the best one that we use. I'll put the link in the description of the video below where you can get it from. That black one I'm not a big fan of. And you can always, once you install it, just wipe it with your finger, put glove and wipe it, make it nice and clean looking, not like blobs like that, because it looks terrible that way. So we're removing all the bolts around the oil pan, all of them. Okay, so now on this side here, let me turn it a little bit so I can show you. Okay, perfect. And once we remove the oil pan, I'll show you where exactly every single bolt is located and how to get to it. So now we are going to spin the engine this way. If you're underneath the vehicle, you have to do all that, guys. Okay, underneath you will not be able to spin your engine just like that. And we keep taking the bolts off. Okay, we have a few, okay, 2 that are actually 12mm steel, okay, by the AC compressor. Under that bracket we still have a few that are 12mm, guys, that we need to remove. And let me show you where they're located. Okay, right there you can see the 2 bolts. Or somebody stripped those. No, it didn't go. No, those are actually, those are different. Those are the one with the 12-point socket, guys. We need to get a 12-point socket. Okay, 12-point socket, let's say 12mm 12-point socket, and we'll remove them. They're not the regular bolts. Okay, you can see. And once we remove them, I will be able to clearly show you what specifically, okay, they look like. So that's the 12-point socket, guys. Okay, one second, I need to focus a little bit more time. Okay, so this is a 12mm 12-point socket. Now we're going to go ahead, okay, remove these 2 bolts. Okay, they will be tight, so let's break them loose with a ratchet. Extremely tight. Okay, perfect. And now we'll go ahead and remove those 2. Long bolts, guys, check it out. Perfect. And now one more. Okay, great. You may leak oil out at this point too, guys, because that is holding, guys, okay, the upper the lower crankcase, okay, right there, to the engine block. It's holding it. So now nothing else is holding. At that point it's only silicone that's holding that oil pan. So we need to get a screwdriver, okay, and we need to start prying it somewhere, but careful not to bend it too much. The thing is that it's actually a metal pen, so you can straighten it if it bends. Okay, so we're going to try to get somewhere under that silicone. Okay, let's see where. No, because here it's the thing. Okay, right there maybe. Where we have the lip, somewhere where we have a lip. Okay, maybe right here, somewhere. Okay, you can see it's a metal pen. Then later if it bends for some reason, you need to, guys, actually straighten it a little bit with a hammer or pliers. It's coming loose. Okay, all that silicone is breaking loose now. Okay, a little bit on this side now, it's holding. Still on this side right here. Okay, it's... Oh, one more bolt, guys. We forgot one bolt. Okay, 10 millimeter right here. It's under all that silicone. So always inspect everything to make sure that is the case, guys, because now looking at it, it should come loose. Still pretty tight, but it's coming. Let's just start it on here a little bit with the screwdriver. I don't see any bolts, so I think it will come out. No, it's... Let's see now. Maybe we have a bolt. Oh, right there maybe. One second. Do we have a bolt there? Mm-hmm. Yep, one more hidden. Under more silicone. Whoever installed that thing put so silicone that we, guys, okay, cannot see that we have a bolt. So that's why stay with us until the end. We'll show you where every single bolt is located, so you know that you removed yours or not. So looking at it now, guys, okay, let's explain where all the bolts are located, okay. And you can see, we can show you, okay, on the oil pan where all the holes are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 bolts, guys, from what we can see, okay, right here. And you can see that's how we remove it. Now you need to straighten, okay, your oil pan. Wherever you bent it, you need to straighten it. You need to clean everything super good, guys. Okay, you need to clean everything super good, and we're going to get the silicone to show you which silicone we use for the gaskets in a second. Okay, so also another thing that you need to check, guys, okay, you need to clean the engine block really good. Clean it with a scraper, okay, clean everything really good before you reseal it. Wipe it, okay, with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Make sure it's not greasy, and you will be able to reseal it. So this is the one that we use, guys, the high temp gray silicone. This is one of the best ones. So once you clean everything, okay, really good, make sure you scrape it, clean it, wipe it. You are going to apply, and it's important, guys, to apply on the inner side of the bolts, okay, on the inner and the outer side. Go around the bolts, okay, every single bolt, and on the inner side put like that, so that way oil will not drip out, guys. Reseal it, okay, and we'll have the torque specs coming very soon, okay, in the installation on another video. So now, guys, let's explain, okay, how to get that bolt loose. Most of you guys will try to get it loose and the engine will spin backwards, okay. First, it most likely will not get it loose. Second, it's not very good to spin your engine backwards. But let's explain now, guys, okay, let's explain what we usually do. We get a socket that size, guys. You get an air compressor and an impact gun. That is the only way, easiest way to take those things out. So we pre-loosen ours, guys, okay, with the impact. Okay, and at that point it should just come loose. It shouldn't be too tight. So As I said guys, impact and an air compressor, it's one of the easiest ways to take that things out, otherwise you have really hard time. Another thing that you can do is you might need to remove the engine starter, okay, and get a flywheel holder to actually get it loose. But if you want to do it without any special tools, okay, go ahead and do that. Now don't remove the whole bolt guys. Why? Because we need to remove the bolt, the belt first. So just get it loose, okay, and don't remove it. At that point we need to go ahead, okay, and remove our belt, okay, right here, 14 millimeter guys, okay, and we need to get the ratchet. So we'll pre-loosen it. You go, okay, let's put that thing there so it's not in the way. We're going to go clockwise, counterclockwise. It's going to get the slack out of the belt. I'll pull it out. Now we can pull the belt all the way out. Okay, like that. And now we can get that bolt loose. Don't do it before we remove the belt, because you have tension on the pulley and that can, okay, damage things. So that's the bolt. Now you grab that, okay, that crankshaft pulley, and it should be able to come out because it has a key guys. I don't think it's pressed in, so if you grab it with 2 hands, okay, you can simply pull it out, and that's where even the front crankshaft seal is located, behind that pulley. So now next we need to remove the valve cover. How are you guys going to do that? Okay, pretty simple. In order to remove the valve cover, you need to disconnect your fuel line guys. Okay, that will be the low pressure fuel line coming from the fuel tank. You have fuel, never work on cold, on hot engine, always work on cold engine guys. Disconnect the car battery so you can avoid sparks. And on these modern cars it really matters which battery terminal you disconnect and reconnect first. If you do it the wrong way, you can cause damage to the engine computer. I'll put a link to a video that explains which battery terminal to disconnect first. Always have fire extinguisher. I have eye protection, gloves guys, and all that stuff, because you will be working with gasoline. You need to get that nut loose. We pre-loosen it, okay, that's for the other, okay, fuel line that's going to the high pressure fuel pump. You need to disconnect, okay. Now that sensor right here, the fuel volume sensor. And next guys, we're going to remove, okay, the high pressure pump so we can get it out of the way. 10 millimeter socket, 2 bolts. Okay, you have some tension because it's on the camshaft, and here, okay, you have the high pressure fuel pump, and you have the cam follower here as well guys, we're going to remove it as well. I would recommend to inspect it and replace it if you need to. Those are actually, it's a weak spot on high mileage direct fuel injection engines. Now in order to remove the valve cover, okay, right here we have a line coming from the PCV valve to the intake manifold. We'll remove that one. Here we removed one you can see clamp, so we can remove that cable. And now we need to go ahead guys, okay, and disconnect the ignition coils. Okay, so those gray things needs to be pressed back, okay, and then press down and just disconnect each one of the cables guys. Okay, and some of those are a little bit stuck. Okay, perfect. Now here we need to disconnect the exhaust VVT solenoid cable. It goes to the back. Here we have 2 more clips that we need to remove. Now if you want to see the torque specs for the valve cover guys later and the bolt sequence, we have all that on the channel. 2 more bolts, how to remove. Okay, we need to remove here actually to get the wiring harness loose. 1 more bolt. Perfect. All that wiring harness can flip to the side. Okay, just like that. Perfect. Next guys, okay, let's see. We need to remove ignition coils. 10 millimeter socket again, 4 bolts. Alright, great. Collect all these 4 bolts with ignition coils and pull them out. After that, I believe we have about 20 bolts, around 20 bolts for the valve cover, and you have some in the middle, not to forget that. That one is the one that most people always ignore, and you can break it if you don't remove it guys, so you need to put a new valve cover. Alright, we're doing that now. Few more for the fuel pump, under the fuel pump here. Now these bolts, we need to just grab all of them out, guys. Okay. I just dropped one. Be careful. Okay. And we have one that I dropped on the floor. Now, that valve cover, guys, okay, should come out at that point. Nothing else should be holding it. Okay, you need to just move the fuel line a little bit out of the way. Okay, and the valve cover is out. Now we can continue with the next step. Before you remove the serpentine belt, it's always a good idea to pre-loosen these 3 bolts with a wrench, because when the engine is in the engine bay, you have to pre-loosen them with the belt on. We can use the impact now, but you won't be able to use it if it's in the engine bay. Okay, and we need to remove the pulley for the water pump. Perfect. Now, we need to remove that idle pulley right here and the tensioner pulley, okay, that we just recently installed, brand new one. So this is a reverse threaded, guys, remember, reverse threaded. Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead, get it out. Alright, now we'll need to remove the tensioner itself as well, guys. This is, okay, with a is it 17 millimeter or, let's see. And we'll need to do it because we won't be able to remove the timing cover without it. Well, actually it's a smaller, I think. Let's see. I think it's a 16, 5/8, 16. Perfect. We got it loose. Now we have one more here that we need to remove. The alternator, I believe we will not be able to, we will not need to remove it. Nope. So this one is regular thread, counterclockwise to get it loose. And that one will be extremely tight. Probably hasn't been removed for the last 193,000 miles, guys. So now we have that bracket here for the engine mount. Okay, you need to do that. So that's what we'll be doing next. If the engine is in the vehicle, you have to support your engine really nice underneath with a jack and a jack stand, not just a jack itself, because if it fails, the engine will fall and you can smash your fingers, guys. So always, okay, we have to be careful. Now somebody used the wrong ball here. Check this thing out. In the past, yep. One is out, 3 more to go, and that engine mount bracket should actually come out. Alright, perfect. Now let's see what else next. We have to remove quite a few bolts, guys. Okay, so from here, when you start, you have a few 12 millimeters and a few 10 millimeters, as you can see. So 12 and 10 we'll be using mostly here now. And once we pre-loosen all of them, okay, I think there is no gasket, only silicone is holding the timing cover in place. So we're pre-loosening the 12 now, 12 millimeters, and then we'll continue with the next step after that. Okay, this one is tight. Let's try again. Did it come loose? Yep. And okay. That one actually, yeah, you need to remove that one. I believe you do. We'll check in a second. Now, we forgot to pre-loosen one in the corner there. Okay. Perfect. Here. So probably won't be as convenient, okay, being in the engine bay, but we've done it multiple times in the engine bay, guys, and it's doable, it's possible. We have plenty of room. You just won't be able to use something like the impact to actually remove all of them and make it a little bit quicker. So 10 millimeter now, we're going to pre-loosen a few more. We have two guides. I think you have to be careful because you can easily, okay, one right here, you can easily crack, guys, okay, that cover. You can see one guide is right here, I think, and one right there. Those could be rusted, so if you get penetrating spray and spray those, okay, it may help actually come out easier, because we ourselves cracked a couple of timing covers in the past because we weren't patient enough. Okay, oil pan, you can see we already removed it earlier. You have all the bolts underneath otherwise holding it. If you don't remove the oil pan, you have to pre-loosen all the bolts, okay, in order to remove the timing cover, but it's recommended to remove the oil pan because you have to reseal everything. So now with a screwdriver, okay, we can pry a little bit there, okay, a little bit on this side now. You just have to be careful. The guides are holding. We need to probably spray a little bit of penetrating oil, okay, right here now. Okay, let me get some penetrating oil and spray on this one here and on this one, okay, over there, okay, right there where it's going in, one there maybe, or from the front side a little bit if we can, okay, one right there. Here we have a place where we can actually, guys, okay, pry as well on the bottom, because if you pry too hard it will crack, believe me, guys, you don't want that to happen. Okay, it's holding here in that guide, in that pin. You'll be surprised. Oh, it's moving out. The penetrating oil did its magic, guys. It's moving out on this side, now a little bit on this one. Okay, let's do a little bit on the bottom if we can somewhere. Okay, maybe a little bit more on this side now. Still holding here, guys. This one is not moving at all. On this side it will come out, but on the bottom it's still holding there on this side. So we need to definitely be patient, otherwise we will break it. We might need to, okay, get a screwdriver and try to just get a little bit in there. Maybe with a little bit thinner screwdriver, that's a little bit fat. And maybe spray it even a little bit more, because it cracked a little bit, so it can penetrate. You can see how much rust is in there, in between the two pieces. Try again, let it work. Tap on it gently so the vibrations can make it loose. No, it's still holding there, it's still rust, guys, quite a bit of rust that's holding. So we'll get a thinner screwdriver, okay, try to tap on it a little bit between the two pieces, okay, right there. See if it's going to come loose, because otherwise you're going to crack that thing. Those are extremely thin, okay, you think they're fat, they're not, guys, they're so easy to break. That's crazy. Still not coming out. We'll let it soak a little bit and then Okay, we're going to come back, okay, and see if it's going to come out. Okay, I turn it a little bit. Check it out now. I grab it like that, I turn it, and while we're turning, okay, it's coming out, I think. From what I can see now, we can get the screwdriver in there. Okay. Okay, all that rust, guys. Check out how much corrosion that thing had here. Okay, you can see in the timing cover. Okay, came out like that. That's where your timing chain components, oil pump, and everything else is located. So this is, guys, the timing cover. You can see it came out. The oil pan, okay, where it attaches. Okay, you have all these bolts on the bottom, you can see, and the silicone steel. So everything will need to be clean and resealed. It's recommended, guys, to remove the oil pan, put the timing cover, and after you put the timing cover, reseal the oil pan. That timing cover, guys, the only thing holding it is silicone. There is no gaskets. You will need to clean everything with a scraper really good. Make sure all the silicone comes out. Make sure it's clean. Get the rubber alcohol. Clean all the sides. Clean the engine block here as well. Everything needs to be perfect where it's going to lay. And once you do that, guys, you need to get we use the high temp gray silicone. It's amazing, actually, silicone. And you're going to go, okay, apply a thin bead on the inside of the bolts, okay, all the way around inside of the bolts, okay, and later install the cover and pretty much get it tight. We'll have the total specs coming on the channel very soon. Once we are done rebuilding that engine and putting it together, we will share the total specs for the timing cover as well. So next step, guys, you need to remove all your spark plugs. When you remove the spark plugs, you need to get a bigger screwdriver or something like that, and you need to make sure that all 4 pistons are even, guys. That means that the pistons will be in the middle of the cylinder, okay, in the cylinder, because if one piston is on top, okay, what can happen when you remove the chain, if the valve releases, okay, you can actually bend valves and things like that, and you want to avoid that. So let us explain now. Okay, we already have our pistons in the middle. If you don't have yours, you may need to put the bolt, okay, and just adjust it to where it comes in the middle. After that, guys, what do you need to do next? Okay, next you need to go ahead, okay, and remove the tensioner for the timing chain. So let's go ahead, do that. So we'll go ahead and remove the tensioner now. Okay, perfect. After that, guys, we need to go ahead and remove the tensioner arm right here. So let's go ahead, do that. Alright, we have the guide right here on this side that we need to remove. Perfect, 3 bolts, and then we should be able to pull that chain out. Let's see now. Alright, perfect. So this one, it should come out now. Okay, one of the camshafts it's holding a little bit here. So what I will do, okay, I will just come here on top with the wrench, okay, and I can release the pressure a little bit, okay, to where we can pull the tensioner arm out. Okay, slowly release it now. Okay, and now we can remove the third one here. We have one more bolt that we need to remove. Okay, now it should come out. Let's see if it doesn't. Okay, it will. Perfect. Now we can grab the chain, come here, okay, and we can pull the gear out. I recommend to replace it with new gears and pull the chain of the camshafts in. This is it, guys. You can see timing chain came out. Now what about the oil pump timing chain? Okay, I recommend to replace the whole kit. Some of you may just replace this one, but I recommend to go with the whole kit, the oil pump, guys. Okay, at that point you need to remove, okay, we need to remove the tensioner here, 2 bolts. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, that tensioner will fall apart. That's normal. You can put it together easily, but I recommend to put it with a new one, replace it with a new one. Great. Now we have 2 more bolts. Let's see if that gear is going to come out as well. or it's not going to be able to. So next for the oil pump, guys. Okay, let's explain what you need to do. 12mm socket. Okay, and we have a few bolts that are super tight. I mean really tight. So let me just kick that engine to hold it good. 1 second. I'm not ready. Okay. Okay, now. Okay. Those are tight bolts, guys. Okay, one is out, one is loose, second one now. That's a 12-point socket, 12mm. We have 2 more underneath. Perfect. Okay. Okay, this one too. We have the torque specs and everything. Putting it together, guys. So no, right. Now I think we should be able to do that with the impact. It's extremely tight, everything. So let's see now, okay, how we're going to do that. So we'll just go ahead. Okay, remove them. Expect to leak oil once you remove the bolts. Number 2 coming out, longer than the first one. And then, guys, okay, when we remove that pump assembly, we have quite a bit of oil. So number 3 and 4 towards the front. Okay, this one is shorter. Wow, no, long bolt, super long bolt. It goes all the way to the cylinder block, to the engine block. Okay, spraying a little bit of oil on this one. And now that pump, guys, okay, practically should come out. So let's see. It should have 2 guides holding in place, and it's heavy. Be prepared. On the last bolt, it may even fall on you, guys. So you always have to expect that to happen. So oh no, 1 more bolt, 2 more bolts. I see right there. Let me see if those hold. Yep, right there. 2 more bolts, and towards the back 1 more, and so 3 more bolts that we need to remove. 3 more bolts. So altogether, okay, will be how many? 7 bolts. Okay, let me hold the engine again. Good. Okay, this one is loose. Okay, just 1 more on the front. Okay, and I think this one will go probably with the impact now. Okay, so let's remove these 3 bolts, and be careful, guys, because that thing is heavy. If you drop it on you, it can kill you. That's how heavy it is. I don't think we have anything here. The only thing that we have on this side, from what I see, it's the oil dipstick here. So I don't think, okay, we have anything. So one quick removal of this bolt. Okay, perfect. Then the 2 more on the other side. Okay, we'll do that. Let me hold the pump on the last one. It smells terrible. So just 1 more, guys, and that thing should start dropping. Be prepared. Yep. Okay, I'll need help holding it in a little bit because it is heavy. Okay, let's grab it. Let's lift up. I'll get the chain out. Perfect. And that's the oil pump assembly with the balance shaft, guys. Okay, right here. So this is it, guys. This is the oil pump. You see all these bolts. Okay, this is the oil pump. On the other side, okay, what we have here, we have the oil pump screen. Okay, right there, as you can see, this is the balance shafts here, guys. The whole assembly, they sell it with the balance shafts, because if you don't install it correctly, okay, what is going to happen, guys? Okay, your engine will not be balanced and it will be vibrating. So every time you turn the oil pump, you see you have two big shafts, okay, right here, that are counterbalancing your engine, so it can be a nice smooth engine, guys. So that's super important, guys. Okay, not to take it apart. If you need to buy a new oil pump, we'll put the link in the description of the video below where you can get one from. And then if you want to see, guys, the timing chain marks and the timing chain installation video, we'll have it on the channel step by step, that will teach you, okay, how to do that. So make sure, guys, you check it out. Now, hopefully you'll find the information helpful. If you have any suggestions, let us know. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time.